Brazil is just Rio and Sao Paulo. I wonder how many people are angry at me now, but obviously I'm kidding. But this is something that Brazilians hear all the time when they're talking to foreigners. People assume that if you live in Brazil, you're either from Rio or Sao Paulo. At least they didn't say Buenos Aires, but those are just two cities. They are very important cities. In fact, they're probably the most iconic cities. Rio because of the film, culture, tourism. When people think of Brazil, they think of the Christ the Redeemer, Sugarloaf Mountain, the beaches in Leblon and Ipanema. Sao Paulo is a city with over 12 million people. You can look at it right now. A lot of economic activity, a lot of culture, a lot of stuff going on here. The state of Sao Paulo actually has 40 million people. So those aren't terrible guesses, but obviously in a country with over 200 million people, there are other very important cities, and I'm going to teach you about them right now. The third biggest city is Brasilia. Yes, Brasilia is the capital, not Rio. You thought Rio, I'll forgive you because it was the capital up until around 1960 when they moved it to Brasilia. Actually, they created Brasilia, kind of like Washington, D.C. It was made specifically to be the national capital. It's an interesting city you should check out and learn more about it, but we have to go on to the next city. The next city is Salvador Bahia, which has around 2.8 million people living there. This was also a capital of the country. It's colonial capital. It has a lot of beautiful colonial architecture. It's right on the beach. They have an amazing carnival too that you should check out. A lot of local cuisine. It's one of the cradles of Afro-Brazilian culture along with Rio. Certainly check it out. Check out the carnival there if you have a chance. Coming next on the list is the city of Fortaleza with over 2.6 million people. It's the capital of the state of Ceará and the biggest city in the Northeast. It has amazing city beaches like Praia do Futuro, Praia de Iracema. Wonderful culture. Definitely check it out. Dance a little forró over there. You're gonna like it. The next city on the list is Belo Horizonte, literally beautiful horizon. It's the capital of the state of Minas Gerais. It has a great culinary tradition. It is a planned city, very organized. It's not on the beach, and they have a famous saying, BH, which the locals call it BH, no tem mar, então vamos pro bar. Belo Horizonte does not have an ocean, so we have to go to the bar. But it's a beautiful city, and it's a great place to start some day trips to other colonial cities in the region like Ouro Preto and Mariana. Next, we have Manaus, the capital of the Amazonas state. It is the biggest city in the center of the Amazon region. It's a great place to see some cool architecture. It was the center of a rubber boom in the 1800s, so you can see some cool places like the Amazon Theater. Also a great place to start some tours into the heart of the Definitely recommend checking it out, and it's a very fast-growing city. Next is Coritiba, or as the locals say, Coritiba. It's the capital of the state of Paraná. It's a beautiful city, very well planned. They're famous for their great public transportation. It's a cooler temperature than most other Brazilian cities, and they have a distinct European culture with a lot of Eastern European immigrants. Definitely check it out. The next city is the city of Goiânia in the state of Goiás. It's in the heart of the country, not too far from Brasilia. It's known as the capital of sertanejo, Brazilian country music, and it's surrounded by some of the best farmland in the country. A lot of cattle farmers, but don't get confused. It is definitely a city. You can find some upscale malls and shopping centers like Shopping Flamboyant. Definitely take a little trip there, check out some country music, and you'll stay for the Piqui and the people. The next city is Belém, which means Bethlehem, and it's in the state of Pará. It's known as the gateway to the Amazon because it sits on the mouth of the Amazon River. It's an incredibly interesting place to visit, a lot of interesting culture. Definitely check out one of the biggest open air markets in the world called Ver o Peso, which literally means see the weight. You'll get to try some fruits and some foods that you've never even heard of. Definitely recommend it, but sunscreen because it is hot. The next city we will cover is Porto Alegre, which literally means happy port. It is the capital of Rio Grande do Sul. People from Rio Grande do Sul are called gaúchos. Maybe you know a few famous gaúchos like Gisele Bündchen, and also Ronaldinho. In Brazil, he's known as Ronaldinho Gaúcho. Rio Grande do Sul has their own distinct culture, also affected by a lot of European immigration, especially German and Italian. One thing they're very famous for is their tea called chimarrão. It's a hot tea and they will drink it during any temperature. You can certainly spot a gaúcho or someone from Porto Alegre if they're drinking a chimarrão and if they're wearing either a Grêmio or an International jersey. Those are the two famous soccer teams, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So that's what we're going to cover today. There are many other cities, including around 4 more with over 1 million people. like Guarulhos, where the Sao Paulo airport is. Campinas, another big city in the state of Sao Paulo. We have Maceió, the capital of Alagoas, and São Luís, the capital of Maranhão. But now you have some other cities that you can talk about besides just Rio and Sao Paulo. If you want more videos about Brazilian culture and geography in English, make sure to give this video a like and ask me a question in the comment section. I'll see you next time. Peace.